Thanks for tuning in. Today in this Bardcast, we got me, Tosh, Hans, and we got two others jumping in. It's going to be Pyth and High Indian. What's up, guys? Honored to have you guys here.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Excited for it.
Tosh, introduce yourself, man. We haven't gotten
Yeah.
an intro on you yet.
Oh, I know. This is actually my first Bardcast, even though I'm like one of the OG bards. But
Yeah, I don't know about
yeah.
OG, but all right. Yeah, all right, Tosh, go for it, bro.
All right. I mean, I guess the High Indian's really the true OG. That was like shortly after.
No, you were like number 2 or 3, bro. You're a real OG, bro. I love you very much, Tosh. It's glad
I
to have
know.
you here.
Love you too, Flu. We're here. We're here. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't followed my channel, Crypto with Tosh, have a bunch of DeFi Kingdom stuff on there. I'm like cover like 80% DeFi Kingdom, so it's pretty sweet. Got everything you need. But yeah, excited to be here with the folks.
Let's go.
Let's go, Bar Team.
Yeah, and Drake, that thing that I said that I wasn't going to talk about it, I'm just going to say I actually thought that it's been possible this entire time. I had no idea that it was a secret. I thought that it was extremely public information because like a few months ago, one of my friends had their account hacked, and they're like, "Bro, is it possible to move these?" And I was like, "No, man, I'm sorry." And then they came back to me a few days later, and they're like, "Never mind, I figured it out. Okay, I love you, bye." And so I never questioned it again, like ever again. But I'm just gonna wait for the team statement to say anything else about it. And back to you, Drake.
No,
We're
we're
not
all
gonna talk about it,
introducing
but
ourselves.
Flu
We all
talks.
know who I am. I'm that scrub who's just trying to learn from you guys. Hans, anything new this week, man? Same dunk, different day. All heads, fun stuff. All work, no play.
Yeah, oh yeah, just that. I really haven't been questing my heroes all day or anything, I swear to God.
Attaboy.
No,
Dude, yeah, the grind's hard.
gardening and mining quests. I've been getting a couple jackpots, so digging that. Got some more questions coming through, so yeah,
Yeah, those jackpots are fun.
Actually,
Yeah.
I haven't been doing my quests just so I could like have a bunch of them to end during this cast. So if you want me to share screen, I've been waiting.
Yeah, share screen.
Like,
People like
2
Oh,
sharing.
yeah.
a.m.
Do it.
Share it
So
up, baby. I'll
Yeah,
put
that's
you on
always
the
fun.
main screen. Why am I on the main? What the snap? All I am is a voice. Let's put Tosh or Flu on the front or Hans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Flu, where
for
you
sure.
at? Let's see your
Let's
face.
see if we can do this. Boom. Bigger faces now.
Oh yeah.
We
Right.
got
I
Flu's
gotta like get
live.
in the
There we
frame
go.
now.
There you go.
Dude.
Yeah, I want to get rid of my screen. My screen's taking up too much real estate. Daggone it. All right, well, anyways, guys, Flu's going to go on some quests. We're going to go ahead and get into the content. Pyth will be jumping in a little bit later. So let's go ahead and jump into this stuff. The first question I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the price of Crystal? What will it be initially and eventually, like tokenomics-wise? Because, I mean, they've already mentioned that it's going to be 25%, so it's kind of like, bruh, is it going to be like 4 times higher than Jewel? Or is it going to be even more because there's more liquidity on Avalanche? I mean, come on. What do you guys think? Is Suzu going to pump the bags on Crystal? You guys knew it was coming. Come on.
I think personally that the price is going to be low to start off with because people are going to get all this fresh crystal and they're like, whoa, I've got so many tokens, I want some free money. But I think it'll be stupid to sell. I mean, unknown financial advice here. But I don't think the quarter supply is going to like create the like price differences in that way. I think we're going to see them kind of equalize out in like after so many people are taking advantage of the arbitrage opportunities for like summoning with crystal and then like selling the heroes. Like there's just so much opportunity when Crystal Veil launches, but I think the market will equalize that out pretty quickly.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it probably depends on the bridges in between chains, but and how well the arbitrage is actually going to work. I mean, I could see the price of Crystal equalizing to that of Jewel. In fact, I think we might have talked about this last week. I can't remember though. Maybe that was on a different pod, but yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on also how popular Avalanche gets. I was thinking about this in the beginning. There's not going to be quests on AVAX though, and so are you going to be able to quest your heroes on Serendale? There's a lot of dynamics, and I think with a small supply of Crystal, it could be super duper volatile. It could go up way high, then could drop down. I think it's going to be pretty hard to predict in the beginning.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I wonder like how good the bridges will work, especially for the NFTs. I remember like Frisky was saying in the AMA one time that like the tech wasn't quite there to like get the NFTs to bridge over perfectly and like still have functionality on Avalanche. So I know that's like one of the big things that they're working on getting together.
Yeah, that's true. Flu, you got any thoughts? Or are you just questing them out?
The RPC is rugging me like hard right now. I don't know if anyone's seeing all of the requests that I've made, and I've already like reset my MetaMask. Anyway,
Which RPC are you using, Flu?
it's
Yeah, I was playing around with Unite Finance. It's that DGen Tomb Fork. And
Yeah.
basically, I think they have like a RPC. It's called FuzzFi or something like that. Someone in
That's
our
not
Discord,
that's not from Unite, unless the fuzz.
No. That's where I recognized it. And then someone on our Discord, he was like, "Hey, have you checked out FuzzFi?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I remember seeing that on Unite. That's a good point."
Yeah.
It's basically just another custom endpoint. I haven't used it. I don't want to mess with it, just like in case there is a way they can potentially hack. I know it works with endpoints, so it's not something that they have access to your private keys. But still, I mean, I just you're in crypto. I mean, you don't want to mess with that type of junk.
What's funny is that like the FuzzFi, like that's Fuzz is like a product of its own, right? Like Fuzz.fi, right? So like them doing the RPC for that and then like putting it into such a helpful message for other people that are having issues with RPCs. It is honestly like the best piece of marketing that I have seen this year.
Yeah, dude, just hand them something that works.
No, that's true. It does.
Better than Hamagotchi?
But it was absolutely brilliant. That's so funny. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm laughing so hard about that. All right. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. The Crystal Veil, the Crystal price, I think it's gonna be a really, really wild ride no matter what. It's gonna be wildly speculated on at the very beginning. So you're gonna get everyone aping in, and then you're gonna be like, oh well, there's no way it could go higher than this, and then they're gonna dump. And then the people that are like, no, we're still excited, it's gonna be the same sort of thing as any sort of fair launch token. It's just gonna be really, really interesting to see like the fallout of it after, because no matter how much you try to do like an IDO in like a responsible way, or like an airdrop and a mix of airdrops and buying in at predetermined prices, or even if you do 4 seed rounds and you raise the valuation each time, and then you have the final round and it's the public round, even that, nothing matters until all of the elements and all of the trading pairs are out there for the market to actually decide. And so like I think that no matter what, there's going to be a lot of crazy sort of moves within the first few days or weeks of Crystal's release.
Hey, Flu, I have a question about that. What you
Yeah.
just said. So do you think like the different trading pairs that will be on Crystal Veil might actually affect the Crystal price? And if so, how?
I think that it's not going to affect it a lot. I think that depending on what they choose to do with which one is the main pair against Crystal, whether it's AVAX or whether it's Jewel or whatever, I think that the performance of that asset against everything else will matter. But other than that, I'm thinking of it very much in terms of just like a ratio move of like Jewel to Crystal.
Is there going to be Jewel on AVAX and then Crystal on Harmony? Is that right?
Yes, I believe so.
Well,
like,
there is already Jewel
Yeah.
on AVAX.
Yeah,
There's
for sure.
already
That's
Jewel.
one of the snapshot things.
Yeah, so like I would say that I would want it, and this is one of those things, I don't have any inside information. I'm guessing if I were running it, I would make sure that Jewel was necessary for certain things in game that were special or whatever. Like say like even as crafting materials, like to use crystal over here in order to craft like a rare ice sword, but you're not actually on AVAX sort of stuff. Like I think that would be cool. But again, that's just me saying if I were in charge, which I'm not. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of of potential. Now, Hans, one thing I will address earlier that you mentioned, and this is one of those side effects that comes from me having like a very degen origin story, is that like I have friends that do bots and that actually not just like use bots, but that actually like make bots, right? And those friends, I spoke to them a long time ago about, because I wanted to know how difficult it would be to keep price similarity in between chains, right? Like, so essentially what that would require is that would require an arbitrage bot to go cross chain.
I looked into that a little bit, utilizing flash loans, and like if you could create bots and scripts that could just like borrow a shit ton of money and pay off a loan within one block, and then you pull the profits, like arbitraging between those different prices.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm not skilled enough for that.
yeah, it's, and like we've got some people in the room, obviously. Where's Sandwich? Where'd he go? But
Sandwich, he can't make it tonight. He'll be here next week.
but we have him as a resource, right? Like we can get this done. We can do
I ran
this.
out of lunch meat.
We need Sarah.
Sarah,
Yeah.
where you at?
Yeah, Sarah's gonna help me out with it. No, it's something that even he was like, dude, I don't know if you'd make any money. I was like, what do you mean? He's like,
Well,
well,
you can look at the arbitrage right now. You can arbitrage Jewel on AVAX and Jewel on
Phantom.
on Phantom too.
I do
AVAX,
Phantom all the
Phantom,
time.
and Harmony One.
Yeah, I do Phantom all the time manually.
What's the percentages? Like 10-5?
Oh no, sometimes it can be a lot. And no, PSQ, I'm not talking about doing flash loans cross chain. Tosh was talking about flash loans. I wouldn't be doing flash loans on that.
Yeah, a lot of dexes like prevent it in their code now anyway.
So are you bridging Jewel through the bridge that's right on Harmony One or what? Or
no,
not
I just
Harmony
have a
One, but,
bunch on each. Like I just keep up my own ratios of like Phantom to Jewel and 1 to Jewel, and just kind of swinging everything that way. But it's just, it is what it is. I'll sell Jewel on Phantom whenever it's high over on Phantom because the liquidity is tiny. I own a good portion of the liquidity on Phantom. Honestly, there's not that much.
Yeah, no, they got some good APRs over there, especially in Spirit. I love Spirit Swap.
Yeah, Spirit Swap is what I'm on. I have
Yeah, isn't it only like 200k Jewel over there or something?
yeah, it's not a lot at all.
So I guess my biggest question for getting the price on Crystal is what are the farming pools like? Is it going to be the same setup like it was over on Serendale, like it is in Crystal Vale? I know they hinted on that, but I'm kind of curious if they will have like a Jewel Crystal pool, or is it all just going to be like AVAX Crystal, Penguin Crystal type of setup?
That's a really good question. I would say that I'm not sure yet.
Okay, that seems interesting. So I guess I have two speculations then. I would say if it's the latter to where you have your own crystal pools, I think it's really going to depend on the APRs. Yes, there is 25% of the supply that's going to be out, like 25% of Jewel. But if it's going to be the same setup, then you can kind of look at it the same way because the emissions are also going to be 4 times less.
Yeah, no, I think Frisky said that the emissions would be 4 times less. So, like, if you were to get in at like the point that I got in, you can expect maybe like 6,000 to 7,000% APR instead of like 24 to 26,000.
Yeah. Because I think it would be everything would be kind of relative. So I think what it's going to be like, since it's 4 times less and being that the APRs are a bit lower, I think it will be the same setup that happened with DeFi Kingdoms, but I think it's going to be a more rapid curve. And I want to explain it like this. If you guys remember when the Polygon little yield farming thing went on, what did that last? Like 3-4 months? I remember it because I was farming Matic token like nuts and ham. Same thing on Binance Smart Chain. I remember farming the Cake token, and it wasn't like a matter of like weeks. It was like a matter of like months. It was crazy, and you can make some serious APRs. But now it seems like everyone's front running the opportunity. Because if you remember what happened when Avalanche launched, I mean, as soon as AVAX, or not AVAX, as soon as Aave came on Avalanche, everyone left and went to Phantom. And as soon as everyone went to Phantom, a week later, everyone went back to AVAX. So I think it's going to be
what you're talking about is just classical yield farming.
Yep,
Like,
that's going to be the same thing here. It's going to be the same exact thing here, because before DeFi Kingdoms, you could get those insane APRs because no one was in there. But now everyone's like, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. DeFi Kingdoms is, and yeah, it is. And
no, but it's the next big thing for different reasons. Like, it's not the next big thing because it's a yield farm. It's the next big thing because it actually has utility behind the yield farm.
That's the point.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to hint at. The cat's out of the bag. Like, everyone's going to be here. So I think people are going to flock towards that, and the ones that pool out of the pools in Crystal Vale are going to be like, whoa, bro, the yields are so much higher on Serendale now. So then they're going to go back into Jewel, jump back into the pools, and it's going to be like that back and forth type of thing. And I think they're going to reach an equilibrium. Now, the question is it more profitable to go over to Crystal now or when it launches? I don't know. It's going to be one of those things, maybe the first day or two, you want to see how it plays out. Because there are a lot of people that jump into these pools because they're paying like 100,000% APR or 50,000% APR, and they deposit into there, and then they go look 3 hours later, and they realize everyone's doing the same thing, and some people get stuck on the bridge with all the congestion, and then the APRs go down to like 1,000. Whereas if that happens, you would have just been better off staying in Crystal Vale. Don't have to deal with chaos. Don't have to deal with impermanent loss, the slippage, and all kinds of garbage that's going to occur.
The rewards are just going to be like so much higher on Crystal Vale, though. But another thing to consider is that those people that are providing early liquidity for Crystal are going to face a lot of impermanent loss. And that was the same way with DeFi Kingdoms, to be honest. Like, if you were in the Jewel 1 pool, and you bought in at Jewel, let's say between like 30 and 50 cents, like, you face a ton of impermanent loss with that. So we'll see how that all balances out. But we saw like our Mega Whale this week, like, waited
I saw that tweet
forever to claim his stuff. And I mean, he showed that it's a pretty viable strategy. So I wonder if we'll see anybody try to replicate that this time around.
Well, another thing to consider is, even though the emission schedule is going to be, let's say, 1/4 of the total amount of tokens, you got to remember when DFK first launched, I mean, what was the token? I wasn't around, like $1 or something. So, I mean, what if the USD price is a couple orders of magnitude higher, but then the emissions are 1/4? It's still, like, in USD terms, which most people think, like, going to be massively profitable still.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. All right. So yeah, mainly it's going to be some speculation on Crystal, what's going to happen. I really want to see I do really want to see what's going to happen on it. Like, I'm kind of curious about it. Obviously we have our own speculations on how it's going to play out, but I do know where it's going to go eventually. I look at this game like RuneScape, as in, like, right now we're in Lumbridge and Crystal Vale is going to be like our Varrock. And I'm not saying it's going to pass the price of a Jewel, but I'm saying, like, appreciation wise, you can, obviously the early days, you can kind of compare it to something like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, right now, most people speculate on Ethereum because they see most of the gains going to it because it's not as high in market cap. But the opposite is true as well. You can see more steeper downturns. So that is something to factor in as well. But as always, time will tell. The second question I think we should talk about is, what are you guys' thoughts on these higher level quests and class specific quests? This was kind of released in the AMA this week. I think this is going to be really spicy because I got a bunch of pirates and I got some thieves, and I'm looking at them, and the thieves, they're good at fishing, but I would say more so like the pirates and monks. And these guys are like a jack of all trades and a master of none. Like, I could send them wherever I want and they can get me a little bit of items, but no eggs. Like, it's like doo-doo squirts. Whereas I send like a ninja going fishing or foraging, and he's like, bruh, you want eggs? That's all I got. You want bloaters? Sorry, bro. All I get is eggs. Send your monks out here. No, I got one egg. I finally got one.
Nice.
I was pretty hyped. I was like, oh, snap.
There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna take some time to address this from the crowd here. What's impermanent loss? That's actually a super good question. I would really advise that like asking something like that in this sort of, I guess, environment doesn't really do yourself a lot of justice. I would advise that you go watch like a full video on impermanent loss. Make sure that you have like a full picture of it before you're like investing in like yield farms and providing liquidity for any sort of decks or anything.
But in brief, it has to do with the fact that when tokens move a certain amount from where they entered the pool, you're not capturing all of those gains because half of your assets are in one and half are in the other, and people are arbitraging it. So you don't necessarily get out what you put in. But there are some calculators where you can estimate, like if you think you know where the token's going to go, it can estimate your permanent loss. It's just one factor in, a complex decision to get into the yield farming or whatever. But Flu's right. You should do your research. It's very, I always encourage the more research and more reading, the better, man.
Always.
And I could spend like, honestly, the problem is I could spend like 45 minutes talking about like bad and good experiences with like impermanent loss versus like the rewards given from a thing. It's going to be like such a like a really, really long subject that I'm just like, bro, don't do that to me. Don't do that to Tosh. Don't do that
It's a
to
trap.
Drake.
It's a trap.
It's a
Yeah,
trap.
it is pretty
Do
rough,
it.
man.
But
Best way
that's
to
what
there is an easy way to sum it up, though. I mean, you just sum it up like this: pick two assets you're super bullish on, because at the end of the day, you're either going to have more of the one of the assets or the other asset, because it's just going to move up and down. I mean, it's just how it's going to roll. Like I paired Jewel with one, and I was bullish one, and I was like, you know what? I sold a bunch of Jewel into one, but I earned a bunch of farming rewards in Jewel, so I'm happy. So I got a big bag of one and a big bag of Jewel. Well, actually, not really big, but still.
Can't complain with that. Can't complain
I was
with
gonna
that.
say, did you make the land raffle? We're gonna find out how big your bags are.
Dude, I did not make it. I was kind of like, dude, this kind of. I was that guy who was like just leaving my Jewel. Actually, I did make a strategy. You can see it on my YouTube. My strategy was taking the Jewel, claiming it, and putting it back into the LP pairs. So I was the guy who was kept compounding and compounding and compounding. I mean, it worked out good, but I didn't get any land. I'm a real estate guy, and what the snap? I have zero land. Like, I'm the worst example of real estate.
Unreal Estate Tournament 6. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, dude, I'm that renter. Anyone got any land for rent? I'm renting.
Yeah, M1 Seed in chat's making a really good point here, though, is that like even though like you may face impermanent loss by providing liquidity, like the rewards are still good, and by having your liquidity into DeFi kingdoms on the decks, like improves Jewel and improves our whole ecosystem. So love that. Good shout out there. Good reminder.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like how I was like, no, I don't want to talk about impermanent loss, and now we're all just talking about impermanent loss.
Dude, impermanent
Yeah,
loss
back to
is
Drake's
such a
question.
big
It was about
subject.
hero-specific quests.
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool. I actually did not hear about that. I missed out on the AMA yesterday, but that sounds sweet. I wonder like what the Dread Knight quest would be like. That's gonna be crazy.
Dude, the Dread Knight is good at everything. You can send him wherever you want, and that man will get you anything you want. You're like, bro, give me this, and he'll be like, bro, I got 10 of them. Are you happy?
Yeah, dude, I can't wait to send mine now and just like fuck shit up.
What? You got a Dread? Awesome.
Yeah, I got one. I had a legendary sage that I was trying to sell and then couldn't sell it, and then got my Dread Knight in the second pull.
Didn't we go with X? Like, didn't we go with X Superior to help that out, or no?
We did that for my Dragoon, but then I pulled a legendary sage too.
Oh, nice. Okay,
yeah,
so it was the
I held on to
Dragoon.
that one.
It was the Dragoon that we were shooting for, right?
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, we sold the Dragoon. Superior bought the Dragoon.
Awesome.
Then I summoned like really hammered on stream. You can go watch it back on my channel if you want.
Yeah,
Dude,
actually, I would
sweet.
heavily recommend the advice of watching him hammered on stream. I think that's
I refuse to watch it. I'm like, it's too embarrassing, but I'll keep it up for you guys.
dude, Tosh, I don't even listen to my own voice. So like my fiance was like mentioning, because it was up in my car, just like my Spotify was up in the car, and it showed this podcast. like this one, the nuts and ham one. And
Nice.
she was like, "You're on Spotify?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess so. I'm not gonna listen to it." And I tried. I was like, "Okay, hold on," and I did it, and I made it like 30 seconds into me sounding like an idiot, and I was just like, "Oh no, you know what? No, nope, that's okay. I was right. I do not need this in my life. Thank you very much." And I turned it back off and went over to, I don't know, whatever I was listening to, probably that one song from Magic School Bus or something. I don't know.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I like finally got used to it because I used to like record like really long podcasts and stuff. So, but I don't want to watch that one.
Hey, it is what it is, man. I always listen, and then I just shut myself off because I'm like, man, I don't want to listen to this dummy. But dude, I want to go back to these class specific quests. I have a bunch of pirates and monks. They got to do something, man. These guys, I mean, like at least get like a workout quest because I'm really not working out in real life, and I need this guy going to work out for me. I got to figure out a quest for these guys.
All heroes matter, man. There'll be a quest for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, any speculations? Anyone's got any alpha on this? Any ideas? Hans, I know you got them.
Yeah, this monk's gonna turn into One Punch Man or like Kung Fu: The Legend Continues or something like that. And you're gonna be like, no, I need more monks. David Carradine, I don't know.
Good times,
Okay.
good times. All right. Well, hey.
Okay,
we'll
so what if
alpha
it turns
eventually.
out here we go. I'm gonna get into like crazy mode here for a second, okay?
Okay.
What if it turns out that ninjas are the only ones that can go on assassination quests? What if it turns out that monks are the only ones that can like meditate towards finding a certain item or like filling out space on a map? What if it turns out that dragoons are the only ones that can take down dragons? That was an easy one, guys. I tossed y'all that one. But then, like, what if it turns out that pirates are the only ones that can like pilot ships or whatever? Like,
Dude, you
there's
know
so
what?
much
That's really
space.
interesting.
There's so much space here where you don't have the rules already because no one has written them, and that's what the team is doing, is they're writing these new rules for themselves. And something that I want to reiterate though is that they're writing the rules, but so can anyone in the crowd. If you have like an idea for a crypto product, for a crypto thing, for a web 3.0 experience or decentralized app or whatever, you just come up with it, get a team together and make it happen. And that's something that I don't think I talk enough or evangelize enough about, because like it's true. Like we're the ones building this, we're the ones doing this.
Yeah, dude, it's so cool. This space is so empowering. Like guys, I didn't even do YouTube at all before, or like even edit videos, or like know how to do that before DeFi Kingdoms. I was just like, oh, well, we'll do this now and let's build this because this game's freaking sweet. Yeah, there's so much opportunity. I love this space.
I do like Flu's point on that, those class specific quests. I can understand the higher level quests because I remember in RuneScape, like in order to get into like the crafting guild, you had to have like a certain level, and like the baking or the, I don't even remember what it was called, the cooking guild or something. You had to be like a certain level. But these class specific ones, that is definitely going to be interesting. Yeah, because I guess in RuneScape you couldn't really change out your avatar. But with DeFi Kingdoms, you can just get another hero. Huh. So I like Flu's thoughts. That's pretty interesting. I'm kind of curious to see what these guys bring.
Yeah, I could see like getting like some really unique items for each class too. So like maybe like the pirates would go on like a quest out in the seas and they can get like a fishing pendant that like increases their chance to get eggs by like 5 or 10x or something.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can possibly even rent these guys for quests too, instead of just renting them for summoning.
That would be
Or maybe,
cool.
like,
Yeah, I know they've talked about that.
Kind of, what if there's only like a fish that only a pirate can catch? You know, like a skeleton fish or something.
Ooh.
Well, I think this would actually help the barrier to entry to people, because people are like, hey, I can't buy a hero. Like, come on, bro. I need to like get, or do I need to get Jewel or a hero? What? Well, I think you can actually, I mean, with this coming out, if you can start renting heroes, I think more people can feel like they're getting involved and be like, bro, I got an egg. And then they're like, bro, you got a hero? No. well, then sell your egg and get a hero, and then get the egg again, type of thing. Obviously, there's just speculation, but I think this would allow more people to get involved because, like, over on Axe Infinity, you can't rent Axies. Like, you just can't. You just got to cough up the money and hope someone either sponsors you or you cough up the money. So I think it would kind of be
Yeah, the
interesting.
scholarship systems are like pretty competitive, but I know like the gaming guilds are starting to like work with that.
Tosh,
But
will
I'm
you be
curious,
my
like, have you
Mr.
guys like,
Manager?
what's that, Flip?
Tosh, will you be my Mr. Manager, please?
No, I cannot.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm really interested to see like how like gaming guilds are going to affect DeFi Kingdoms, especially when we see Kingdoms and land gameplay come out. We got 25 new landowners today. One of them is not me. So
Yeah,
Okay,
dude.
so can I give you my slightly dystopian view on this?
sure.
All right. So imagine that this is like, I don't know, the worst case scenario, and I'm very sorry for this because I'm about to go off on one. Say that if this is a continuing issue and that we are not able to get all of this sorted out, I'm not saying that we're not going to be able to, but like say that if it was a different game, like Crypto Blades 79, the sequel or whatever, I don't know. But say if they weren't able to figure that out, and then like a bunch of guilds were popping up around the whole thing in order to take care of that niche in the market, because that's basically the niche that the project itself would give away by letting outside entities into it, saying like, okay, all the gaming guilds and FIF and YGG and everything and SatStart thing and all that DFK DAO, whatever, they come in and they solve the problem for accessibility by they're doing their own clan programs, they're doing everything. Then the thing becomes with like someone completely new to the game that hears about it from their stylist cousin's boyfriend, that DFK is the thing to get into, or that random project is the thing to get into. Then what happens is that instead of new people coming in and they're like, hey, I'm going to go to DFK, they're like, hey, I need to play DFK, but I don't have any chance of like being one of those types of people that are actually playing DFK with their own money. I need to get in through like this other program. So the only option that I have is the guilds. And so instead of let's find one thing that I trust and go with it, it becomes a thing of, well, all right, well, let's do all of these applications and let's do this fee, this entry fee, this other thing for these other like organizations that I love DFK DAO, and I love a lot of the other guilds, but like not every group that pops up around a project like this is going to have the best intentions of its players at heart. So like it just adds for another layer of separation in between the person and the app or the opportunity or whatever. And that's why I would say that like it's better to just educate people more fully and don't try to like grab randos off the street to play DFK whenever they're going to have to enter through such a crazy amount of wormholes just to get involved with the main thing. I don't know. Maybe I have a slightly evil mind. Hans, you're usually like my good angel. So if you wanted to step down off of your halo and maybe give me your thoughts.
No, Flu. No.
First off, Lou, I would be very scared to be your manager. I don't think I could manage you effectively. You're too crazy, man. But
I think that's what the
No.
DFK team said too.
nobody could leash this guy. He's too wild.
It ain't gonna happen, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess I would say I'm an optimist here. I could see the risk, but I also think that if these guilds don't add any value, they're going to have trouble attracting people and attracting skilled players and attracting players that are basically, there's this class of people that are like DeFi degens and they've got some money and they're like, let's do it. And so if you're kind of like a junky guild or you don't have a very good system, I think they're going to be challenged. And so I could see that some of these guilds can actually add a lot of value, and the ones that don't might not be as competitive. But it's definitely a threat, because then it's kind of like the thing with the bards, right? Like, it's kind of our job to go out and like let people know about DFK, but if we don't do a good job, we're representing the game poorly, and it's just I guess it's an existential risk. It could go either way.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this game evolves. I mean, so far it's doing really well, and I'm loving this journey. And I think what they're going to do. I mean, these guys are really smart. If they find something that doesn't work, they figure out how to stop, pivot, and make either a transition or make something work. These guys are really smart. I'm betting on the team, and that's where I'm placing my bets. But
You know
now
what?
that we go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say one of the questions that I got on Twitter kind of relates to this, and that was where someone was asking me, you know, is it worthwhile to get in with the price of jeweler it is and still get involved if you have less than $500? And I think this kind of goes in line with the land issue and the hero issue. And I mean, I don't want to tell people what to do with their money, but I would just say that if you look at what some of the APRs are and stuff, you could.
Hans.
Giveaways.
Oh, no.
Did I get dropped?
Oh, you're back.
Yeah,
You're back.
dude.
And you
Oh,
got
Almost
nerfed.
got you. You
Yeah, I was
got
going to say
wrecked.
we have a lot of giveaways that are going on in the Discord. All the bards and stuff are doing giveaways, and so you can win a prize to get yourself started. You could put some money in the gardens to afford your first hero. So
I gave away like 3 or 4 heroes the other night on Twitter, and I was completely sober, and no one can prove any differently. So, I mean, there's a lot of places for cost of entry, guys and gals.
Yeah, for real. I love helping new people out, and like it's the best when you're like giving away a hero, and then somebody messages like, "Oh, that was my first hero," or like, "Oh my gosh, this is gonna be like a huge deal for me." Love that.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Give the gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, like I agree with the odds. What Drake was saying is just like the community that's been forming and the devs are what I'm betting on here. Everything is so strong, and really, there's just nothing like it out there.
Well, dude, it's like one of those things. People always say, "Hey, this is the next big thing," and you really, you're kind of just saying it right there, Tosh. You have to look for communities and people. Betting on people, not Ponzi's, is the best way to go because yes, you can look for another farm that pops up or another protocol that pops up and tries to copy it. But whenever DeFi Kingdoms or another protocol that is strong makes a pivot, can that fork or that other protocol make that pivot? Obviously, time will tell, but they are always behind they're always behind the puck. Like the team that originated the idea is always going to be skating to the next avenue and the next idea. So that's just something interesting to keep in mind. And I want to mention this. Elon, what up, man? I can't leave any comments, so I always shout out to that guy whenever, yeah, whatever. Anyways, the third question I want to ask, guys, is what are your thoughts on the mining quests? I mean, dude, those jewel bonuses, they're straight fire when you hit them. Like, I mean, I've gotten a couple of them. Like, it's like 11 or 12 jewel on each pop, and it's like, bro, this is happening at least like once a day. What are the rates on this? How do you gain this? How can you get it to where every guy gets one of these drops? I mean, I know there's a formula on it, but like, what's like the cheat codes on it?
It's gonna be even crazier when our heroes have 30 stamina and you can have that as your lead and get 2 chances at a jackpot every time. That's gonna be nuts. But yeah, I mean, mining definitely turned out to be a super bullish quest because especially if you're like close to that that max lock amount. If you have 18 miners with a max lock, you can get almost like 50 jewel a day, not even counting any bonuses. So pretty wild. But yeah, like I'm surprised like how many miners it took, and like I wasn't as bullish on mining to start off with because like the original plan was it going to be like one miner was going to be good enough at a time, and now it's like you need 6 at a time. So like, ooh, I should have kept a couple more of mine.
That's true. It's interesting. Hans, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I just didn't say, the combination of mining and gardening. I think I posted something about this on Reddit the other day. It's just like it's very synergistic. I mean, I went in this morning and I was just doing my mining and gardening quest, and I was like, okay, I'm making enough from mining and gardening that I could buy more heroes every day, and so it's like it can be very lucrative. You don't hit the jackpot every day, but I mean, it's like 10 jewel. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at.
It's true. It is pretty good. Flu, you got like a massive heroes. Do you have all the miners? I noticed like the
I only have
full
7.
miners, like 160.
I only have 7 miners on it, unfortunately. Mining has always been a weakness of mine.
Hey guys, I actually my miners are ready. I'm gonna share my screen over and see what we pull on this. See if we'll get
Yeah, share it up. I'll put you on the main.
Cool.
Yeah, mine's
is
just
that
straight
going?
doo-doo squirt. I just got like stinking gardeners that I'm sending in the mines, gardeners and fishers, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I think I messed one of mine up here because I only did 21 blocks. It's still the 25 full. We'll see what we get. Are we getting a jackpot here, guys?
I don't know what we get, baby.
You got a jackpot on PC.
Let's try the main net.
Yeah, dude, get on FuzzFi.
I don't have FuzzFi in here yet. I only have main net in POKT.
Yeah, let's see what you grab. So now I kind of want to speculate on this since we're kind of talking about quests. We mentioned Crystal Vale earlier in this stream. What do you guys think the quest will be on Crystal? I mean, come on. I don't want no like gardening quests and mining quests. I want some cool stuff. Like in RuneScape, like I remember when the Dungeoneering quest came out and I was like, what the snap? This is like the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was almost like a game all in itself. Anyone who played RuneScape knows what I'm talking about. But if you didn't,
definitely ice fishing, bro.
Ice fishing, that would be pretty sweet.
All right, here, let me confirm now. The gas was 0.28. That's like 8 cents. Way too much money.
Just lower the gas fee. If you lower it to like 3 gwei or 2 gwei, it'll still go through.
Whatever.
I'm donate to Harmony, right?
Today. We can pay the 8-cent gas fee.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good question, though. What other quests? I don't know.
Yeah, Flu probably has the insider information. But I mean, I would guess there's going to be still mining and gardening, but maybe there will be like one other new one. I mean, I don't know, like maybe they'll have a lumberjacking or
yeah, dude, wood chopping's got to come.
How are you going to build all those buildings in your kingdom without lumber?
I played the dude.
Yeah. And there's going to be like a bunch of new quests like within the kingdoms, all right, here we go. What do we get? No jackpot.
Oh, dude, that gives me an idea. What if we get like, because I know there's going to be new classes. They haven't really talked about them. I wonder if we're going to have classes like, instead of like pirate monks, now we're going to get like architects or like construction workers or something. I wonder if, I mean, I know it's still like a medieval type of thing, but I mean, I know it's kind of bad to say, but I mean, what if they're like something like slaves? Those guys can get junk done. I'm just saying those guys will get stuff done. I'd want them. I mean, I guess no, I don't want to say I want them.
I guess your heroes are your slaves.
So what you're doing right now, I need you to be very cautious, Drake, because what you just said is it must be nice to have slaves, and I need you to rewind, and I need you to just look. I need you to just look within yourself and think about how you would react to being
dude. It's my smooth brain working out, man. It's my smooth brain and ADHD. I was just thinking, like, I was like, all right, this is medieval times. This is what happened back in the day. Let me think about this, John. It obviously didn't work out for me so well.
I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna be very clear with the fact that I am heavily against anything to do with slavery in DFK. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a nap.
I was trying to think of some other classes, man. Cut me some slack. I wasn't meaning it like that at all.
Oh my god.
Right, so let's get out. Let's save Drake from here. So the 2 new classes in Crystal Vale, what do you guys think they're gonna be?
Not slaves, that's for sure.
Definitely not slaves. I would put money against slaves.
Yes, same.
Slavery's wrong.
we already got a knight. We already got a priest. We already got warriors. Man, geez. I mean, lumberjacks. We could have some lumberjacks. Maybe some. What are those? Not masonry. What are those guys called?
A
Oh,
blacksmith.
crafters. Boom. We can get some crafters, dude.
Crafters.
Yeah, crafters. I
What
think
about
that'd be
like,
kinda interesting,
what about
man.
like wintry themed classes?
Dude, I mean, we just that's true. Wintry theme. I mean, come on,
Like,
snowman.
all right, what
or
about
elves?
peons
Or
instead of
elves? I
elves?
mean, dude.
All right, so
I guess-
what about mountaineer or something like that?
Ooh, Mountain Dew, very cool. Skier.
All right, hold on. I'm
Skiers are
literally
nice.
I'm opening up the D&D books right now because I want to come up with some good class names.
Oh, I want to like beat up some like ice yetis with my hero.
Oh, Ranger. Ranger would be a good one for that.
They
I
already
would
have
open that.
archers. Too similar.
And Barbarian.
Oh, barbarian.
Dude, there we go. Why didn't you come up with these
There we
earlier
go.
instead of just like destroying me?
Oh, we got some people
no,
putting together
I have
in
time
chat,
for
too.
both. I have time for
Druid.
both.
We need a
Berserker,
druid.
druid, witch. Oh yeah, the witch, dude.
Witch for sure.
I would be
What-
really happy with Witch and Barbarian as the two.
I want druid
Blacksmith.
and
Oh
barbarian.
snap, the blacksmith. I want them. I remember like I would be like smithing out them irons, daggers, scimitars. That was what I was doing. I was mining and getting that junk. That's pretty interesting.
Ooh,
I'm
ice
kind of
cream.
I'm pretty hyped to see what will happen with this because then we can get like armor and all kinds of stuff using them in PvP. I really think this is just like speculating towards PvP, but dude, I'm hyped for PvP. I'm gonna be that guy who goes in the wilderness and just stands there and be like, bro, come at me.
Dude, I'll come at you, bro.
Come at me, bro.
Especially if you're still wheeling slaves.
Yeah, that's the problem
Oh,
with
man.
Witch too, is that Witch and Werewolf and Necromancer are all reserved for Phantom, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. Like I posted a tweet about this the other day, but if we go to Luna, do you think DeFi Kingdoms would actually go to space?
Dude.
All I am saying is that I have had these conversations with people, and that's all I'm saying.
Dude, that would be insane. If we're in like fantasy space land with DeFi Kingdoms.
I know a lot of people at I know a lot of people at Terra, like those guys are actually here in Texas,
Cool.
in Austin, and so like I'm gonna be going down there pretty soon, and we're gonna have some barbecue, you know, but like
As one does.
That's
I
what you do,
think
Texas.
that like the potential for cross branding without it necessarily being the same time or like world or whatever is like cool. I think that's neat. I think that I would sell that. I think it'd be neat.
Heck yeah.
Like even in Final Fantasy, there was that that part of the game where you go to the moon and there's Lunarians and it's all like, okay, they got there with a spaceship, right? Like, so there was some kind of futuristic, pixelated stuff in the history. You know, like if you played Final Fantasy, I don't know, this game reminds me of that.
Yeah,
if you
and also
think about, like,
to address people real quick, Terra is tough, not impossible. It's not going to be possible for an expansion as that goes, but what I'm saying is that like DeFi Kingdoms team is not going to just be DeFi Kingdoms eventually. Like there's other things to do with this property than just that, in my opinion. So
Yeah, Terra already has that bridge set up to go from 1 anyways. So from 1 to Terra. I mean, the entry is free and the exit is like 0.1% or something like that.
Yeah,
Phil,
and
you said something.
Cosmos, the people over at Cosmos are neat too.
Oh, dude, they're fire. Don't sleep
Yeah,
on them.
they're great.
You said
Hans,
something
what's-
recently, Flew, about the fees on AVAX. You said there was some solution. I hadn't really thought about that, but you know, the questing right now, it makes sense because you're paying like 2 cents or whatever to go on a quest. But what is the plan for getting around, if you can speak to this, to the higher fees on AVAX? I mean, I know initially there's not going to be quests, so you don't need to like click a million times. But what's the strategy there?
I would say that the team is working on it, but also that the network itself is working on it. I like the team over on Avalanche. I think that they're bullish. I think that their tech people are really bullish. I've spoken with some people over there that are really awesome. But also the one thing that I can talk about really openly is the fact that it's no, they're doing the individual subnets for each one of the projects, and that'll help with congestion a lot. Since anything that affects one specific project, like say if we have Crypto Blades 4 or something pop up on Avalanche all of a sudden, uh, all the Crypto Blades 4 traffic would be within their own subnet. It wouldn't bleed over into the rest of the chain like it does whenever we have like some botter on Harmony that's like eating up 10,000 transactions a block here
Yeah.
on Harmony. So
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to answer Sun God real quick. How much Joule should one aim to have? So, I mean, that's entirely up to you what you want to do. I just am very bullish on this community. So it's almost like one of those things. Like I look at things like a game. Like for example, in cryptocurrency, just like as a whole in general, me personally, the name of the game is to accumulate as much Bitcoin and Ethereum as possible. So obviously, yes, I do speculate in some altcoins and different projects and whatnot, and I do still keep some of them. But at the end of the day, I like to take profits into Bitcoin and Ethereum and some stable coins as dry powder to buy even more. That's just me personally, and I have a different approach than other people may.
yeah,
I don't just use crypto as my only source of income, and if you are doing that, that is very risky to do because crypto is an extremely volatile asset and it is very cyclical. So if you're quitting your job, I mean, if you're quitting your job to go invest and play in DeFi, that's great and all. But just remember, there are some things that it's there now, but you don't know if it's going to be that way in the future.
and
So
can
just
hey
keep that in
Drake,
mind.
can I like give a warning because I actually did quit my job to do this full time. I don't recommend it to anybody.
Why do you say that, Flu?
It's a pain in the ass to not have on paper income.
Yeah, that is a good point too, because I'm in real estate and I got to deal with property owners and property managers, and I've had some people who are like, "Oh, he's in crypto and he makes like 150 a year." Nah, we're good. Like, bro, I can show you the blockchain ledger and show you all his transactions, show you what he has in his wallet. He can pay a year. Nah, we don't want him. Thanks. It's like, bro, really?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just
having to
whatever.
put and this is the thing that a lot of people don't think about before they do it. I knew that it would be a thing, but like I was already at the point where I was just like, well, I mean, I could make it work no matter what, right? So I went ahead and I signed for the contract for the house. But like I've never had a house before, and this is the sort of thing where like I I didn't realize how much of an issue it would be because I was just under the impression of, well, I've got enough to where like I could buy the whole house. Like, what's the problem, right? And they don't look at it that way. They don't look at it in those terms. So like you have to find someone who's like willing to do things like proof of reserves for like 12 months or 18 months or whatever. So like if I'm like, "Oh no, I've got the money." And they're like, "Yeah, we get your point, but like you don't have any money on paper. You don't have any money that we can like legally say is your money." Because right now, there's no difference in between me and the dude selling keys out of his mom's Honda Odyssey, right? Like they're on paper, we look the same. We look like we have a lot of stuff. We look like we have a lot of money coming in and out of the bank, but we don't look like we have a job. And like something that would help with this situation is that if I stop selling keys out of the back of my mom's Honda Odyssey, but I'm not going to do that. So that's just it is what it is, man. So I don't recommend quitting your job and working in crypto full time unless you're gonna still have like a job on the back end to get that paper income for like respectability and stuff. Because until the quarterly tax payments, that's great, but whenever you're buying a house, you need 2 years history of that. And so like I'm doing that now, but that doesn't help in the case of like getting real property, real assets right now.
Oh, and you also have to factor in a balanced life, because if you're doing everything crypto, I mean, crypto is 24/7. I can just tell you from
Mhm.
experience. I'm a real estate agent, so I can choose when I want to work. But like, I surround like I love this stuff, so it's one of those things that it helps me chill and relax. But I'm glad I have real estate from time to time because I know there's a lot of people. I do it sometimes as well. Like I'll look at it on a red day and be like, "What the snap? This stinks. I need to sell now." And then I look at it like, wait, why did you get into cryptocurrency? Okay, is the thesis invalidated? No. Okay, all right, let's go back to work. So then it's just like one of those things. It allows me to do something else. It's another example of this is like people who are trying to lose weight. What do? Well, they either go work out, they find a different
Okay.
hobby, or they go do something. If they sit in the kitchen or surround themselves and be like, honey, I lost the flashlight. Oh, it's probably in the fridge. Let me go look. Oh no, it's not in the fridge, buddy. But you just distract yourself and find other things to do, and it works. But let's go ahead and
Where do you keep your flashlight?
dude. If you ever want to look for anything, I know you do this. I know I do this. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people do this. If you're ever looking for something, for some reason, we always go look in the fridge. Come on, think to yourself. Have you ever opened the fridge and be like, wait, what am I doing here? Oh, wait, I was looking for something. Dude, I find myself doing that so many times.
I think I just do it because I'm fat.
Well, dude, that's the point. Like, we just look there and we're just like, I know it's in. Oh, wait, what was I looking for? Oh, chicken. Oh, I'll eat this. That's how it rolls, man. All right, let's go ahead and caveat into the next question. This is kind of stemming off the Jewel, like how much Jewel should we get, or should we get a hero type of thing? But is it too late to buy Jewel or a hero? Should you wait till AVAX? Like a lot of people are like, bro, I'm just going to wait till Avalanche comes around. Then I'm going to buy a bunch of crystal and then throw it in the farms because that's what happened when the early days of DeFi Kingdoms. What are you guys' thoughts? Crickets. I got it. I got my thoughts. All right. So here's my thought. All right. So I want to give the example of
I'm trying to order a pizza. I'm sorry.
Order it up.
I'm hungry.
Let me give you this example of Avalanche. Go look in the fridge. When we were on not we, but when people were going on Avalanche, speculating on the next layer one, everyone was like, all right, I'm going to wait till Ave comes, and then that's when I'm going to bridge over because I know it's going to go nuts and ham. Well, if you remember, Banqi, or it's just another DeFi lending protocol, was out, and you were able to borrow and play around with that. And if you were over there, you were able to participate in the DeFi on the Avalanche ecosystem because you can use your Bitcoin, Ethereum, borrow stable coins, and use them to make different plays on the Avalanche ecosystem. Whereas when you got those stable coins, Trader Joe, I remember this token was literally trading at like 5 cents. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on Banqi. I'm going to deposit my Bitcoin in Ethereum, and I'm going to go ahead and borrow some stables against it. I took those stables, I got some Joe, I got some Avalanche, and put it in an LP pool. I ended up getting completely and utterly wrecked, Flu, with impermanent loss. And my Joe tokens, they literally went from 5 cents to like $2. That's how much impermanent loss I received. And Avalanche was sitting at like $60 at that point. So what happened is I just got a big bag of Avalanche, and that was just about it. And I was like, man, this stinks.
Bro,
But
this dude shouting out my name like it means something whenever he's talking about getting wrecked on impermanent loss with Joe. This dude fails to realize I have been in the Jewel 1 pool since I came in to this game. And I came in.
No, I wasn't hinting at that. I was hinting at, like, do you remember earlier in the stream we were talking about impermanent loss?
Right, but I've been in this since the game began. I bought Jewel for the first time at 5 cents, my guy. Talking about impermanent loss. I am still of the opinion that the impermanent loss on any decent farm is so far outweighed by the rewards that you get from it.
Oh yeah, and that was totally what happened with Jewel. Like even if like you putting in Jewel at 5 cents, and that impermanent loss is absolutely ridiculous. Like it's still fine. You're locked.
Like it's fun. Like I'm not losing any sleep over anything I lost in impermanent loss from Jewel. The ones that I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the thing that bugs me more and that hurts my feelings is things like withdrawal fees whenever you're dealing with something like Cobra Swap, where I put in
Oh
like
yeah.
100 grand in there, and that was like all of my LP at the time. That was my entire portfolio, and
So
I
you
put
were
it
the
in
one
there
dumping.
on the way up, and then immediately took it out. And then so I have like a lot of farmed. I have like 10,000 locked, which isn't ever going to be worth anything most likely. And I took that withdrawal fee too. So literally it was just like it was like a bath, really. It was like I paid like 7 grand or something like that to go and like take a moon bag out of that, and that's it, and that's all it was. And so like that's the stuff that you get wrecked on. So just don't do that. Don't be like the continuous yield farmer. But I don't know, man. Drake, I think that you've recovered on Joe now, right?
Well, I mean, Joe, I didn't get wrecked. Like, I still made money, but like, I literally because I didn't throw that much at it. I threw like 3 grand on Joe, and if I would have held it at the 5 cents, I mean, we would be sitting at, well, I would be sitting at a 40x on that. So that's how you can factor in those multiples. And instead, I just got a huge bag of, not a huge bag, but I got a nice bag of ABACs, nowhere near the 40x. But I mean, still, the point is, going back to what I was explaining is like, well, the point is just participate. Money now is better than money later. I mean, you can still make some money with Jewel and the hero, or Jewel or a hero. I mean, waiting till Avalanche, that's what everyone else is doing. Not financial advice, guys, but come on,
Oh yeah,
do the maths.
like Jewel has another 5x to go, and there's like so much utility, and the liquidity pool rewards are still sweet.
Man, I wish I was allowed to speak like that. I can't.
I didn't say it. Tosh said it. So
I can't.
me.
I can't.
NFA.
I can't say things like that. I can't talk about price potential like that, man. I wish I could be. I'm trying to be like you, my boy.
I bring the hype.
Right.
That's why you're here.
The SEC
All
is
right,
going to bring the
But
cups.
also Jewel.
Well, I think what the issue is a lot of people are they don't want to get in because they think the heroes cost too much. Do you think they do cost too much, or do you think they're the right price? Because I'm going to read you guys this quote. This is from Frisky Fox. He said, "Heroes cost too much," or well, he quoted the other guy saying that heroes cost too much. This is the comment that he's replying to. Frisky already said that he was going to use these heroes to make you a yield. You pay for something that makes you a yield. Now, I want to go off that logic. With this logic, if people are just like, nah, heroes cost too much, well, based on that logic, that's like saying, hey, I don't buy a rental property because it costs more than the rent. No, you use it because you understand it makes you a yield. It's the same thing with using something in like, I guess DeFi is a little bit different. You're taking on a risk. But let's use the example of Bitcoin or Ethereum. You buy it because the number go up. Like regardless, you can be buying Bitcoin at 50 grand, or you can buy it at 5 grand. Like people still buy it because they.
But there are a lot of people.
Go up.
Yeah, there are a lot of people are like, oh well, yeah, okay. So here's the. I don't remember what I was saying. Tosh, rescue me. Okay,
I
goodbye.
got you, bro. I mean, like the heroes, they have a ton of utility the more that you invest in the game too. So, I mean, like how I kind of view it right now is with the different quests is that they're like different tiers and cater to like different levels of investment. Where it's like fishing and foraging are like the entry level quest because you have a chance to like proc an egg eventually, and that can actually get you another hero or like double your like net worth in DeFi kingdoms. Where mining is kind of like that mid tier. It's like, okay, you've been farming in the gardens for a bit. Now you can get a lot of this jewel into active liquidity that you're going with. And then guarding's like the whale quest. So when you think about each hero, like it has to be balanced at all three of those different levels. So if every hero was super cheap, but a whale, that hero could produce a whale like 5 to 10 jewel a day, well, then there's a big mismatch there. So I think heroes are pretty fair price. Like the floor heroes are like like 40 or like 60 to 70% of summoning costs right now. So it's making us like be a little bit more careful about what we are summoning. But absolutely, like I think the heroes are pretty fairly priced in, and we'll see just more utility. And like what Drake was saying, it's an investment, and like it's gonna eventually pay off if you keep it questing and doing all that jazz. But it's not gonna like don't expect to recover your money in a week with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree to that, and I kind of want to add on to it is a lot of people. There are some people who just don't have enough time, and then there are people who have a ton of time. Now, with DeFi Kingdoms, using your heroes and using your time is an actual way to monetize your time. I know it sounds goofy, but guys, time is your most valuable asset. If you do have a valuable hero, there are other people who just don't have the time and they're willing to pay for it. So you spending the time to level up your hero is going to be something that people are going to pay for. This is a way you can actually monetize your time if you're the type of person who doesn't have any time, or you got a bunch of kids and you just want to have some free child labor.
That's called slavery. Again, we're getting back into this. I can't believe that I have to privilege check you on this, but I need you to.
I got no kids. I got no
Two strikes
kids.
on slavery today, Drake.
I pounced on that again, but you left yourself so open for that, Drake. I'm almost sorry.
And now you're targeting the children?
Yeah, you're going. You went from just normal to like
your
child.
brother.
Gosh, they can only do that at the universities, man.
You have to structure it in such a way where you're like, okay, well, you're doing your doctoral thesis here, and so then we're going to give you a very fancy piece of paper, but we'll own your doctoral work forever.
If I had kids, I'm teaching them a valuable lesson. I'm teaching them how to upgrade their heroes so they can make it. I mean, that's it. Period.
Whose kids are you teaching this to?
I don't know. I'm just messing. I'm saying for people I don't have any kids, dude. I'm like 5 years old. Come on.
It'll be a good day when I can have somebody just nonstop quest with my heroes, or if somebody just like gives me the good bot that won't like hand my seed phrase off to somebody. That would be really cool.
That would be pretty fire sauce.
By the way, things have gone well with that little thing that I was testing out a while back. I think it was last week. I got into it. I put in like 4 or 5 heroes. I haven't seen anyone with issues. The number 1 hero wallet's in there. They're using it. A few other ones are. I still wouldn't say that I trust it or anything, but it definitely hasn't given off any warning bells yet. They were nice enough to whenever people started bringing up, oh, well, are we going to be able to get crystal airdrops based off of these heroes? And you guys were like, no, of course not. Make sure to take your stuff out by January 21st. And then they went through and they actually did an announcement, and they're like, hey, make sure to take your stuff out by January 21st, blah, blah, blah. So once again, I test out all these different places and these different things that pop up around the ecosystem. And like, I wouldn't recommend it, but whatever. People are going to do what they're going to do.
For sure. We'll see. I've got a lot of time on my hands, so that my legs all messed up. So
yeah, dude, I'm definitely keeping it in the prayers. I know that's rough, man.
It's so good. Like it's cool that like the crypto space is so exciting. That I've got other cool shit going on, so it's keeping me going.
That's good. All right, so here's some community questions I want to run across you guys. There's 2 more, but what are your guys' thoughts on kingdom utility, and is land the same as a kingdom, or is it like you'll be able to buy land within a kingdom? Sounds kind of confusing if you want me to say it again.
Yeah, I see you. I actually didn't really think about that. I always assumed like the land properties would have a kingdom or like at least a little castle on them. But yeah, it'd be really interesting to see like what different features are on these different land pieces. I know that Sinstar and the art team are like individually crafting each one of them to be unique and different. So I think that's just like so cool. But yeah, I'm really interested to see like what kind of functionality is on there. I'm assuming that there's already going to be buildings on there, but I'm sure there'll be like the ability to create more buildings. Like if you notice from foraging, I forget what the item's called, but it's just like the sticks. I think like those would be like logs to start building buildings and stuff.
I think it's going to be similar to I don't know if you guys saw this game pop up, but it's called Mars Colony.
Oh my
this
God.
game dude, it is like what the snap is going on.
I'm making so much money off of that.
Dude, it is crazy.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, it is crazy, dude. These plots you can mint them for 251. The floor price on them is like 3,501.
Oh,
This is in a
dang,
matter
wow.
of 3 days. And then like basically you're getting this colony token. It literally used to sell for like $1 and now it's like $30. We're talking a matter of 3 days.
That's awesome.
It's like what the
Congrats,
snap
man.
is going on here.
Here,
But,
you know what?
basically-
Here, I'll do it. Let's go.
Yeah, show it on your screen. Show it on your screen. I'll put it on the main. But basically, what I think is going to happen is on Mars Colony. Well, you guys are going to see it now. Is you have these different plots of land. Dude, you only got 3 lands. Weak sauce.
Yeah, not gonna make it.
Oh,
Most of my friends bought like 75. So.
Oh, dude, you're in the middle of the planet.
Dang.
What the snap?
Yeah.
oh, this is pretty cool.
Hey
Hey
guys, I
guys,
was minting.
just wanted to make
I had
comment.
my choice. Like I could have gotten Polar Land.
Yeah, dude, I got some polar land. But with what I wanted to finish on saying that is if you click on one of those plots, click on land plot 1. When you click flu, no, on your far right side under your lands. When you click on that,
Yeah.
you can build stuff on there. So I'm thinking that's going to happen like with DeFi Kingdoms, except like if you see the first one, it says base station. I think when you click on it, it'll say, hey, you need 3 logs, you need 4 bloaters or something dumb. And like you build your different lands. And these lands can either farm you gold or farm you, I don't know, trees you can go chop down and sell in the quote unquote grand exchange that's supposed to be coming soon. I don't know. This is just all speculation, but I think that would be kind of interesting with what happens on the land, because I think if they sell you a plot of land with a kingdom on it, then it's just going to be less stuff for you to do. Tosh, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying somebody in chat mentioned that the Ladies of DeFi Kingdom stream is going on right now. If we wanted to match with them or wrap up here soon.
Yeah. We
let's,
got one more question. You guys can jump in. I mean, if you guys can jump in over there too, if you want. Have both run, right? You got 2 years. But anyways, the last question I want to run by is: are you aware of any other high quality Discord groups for DeFi Kingdoms? I'm just getting into the game now, but it's harder to filter the value on the main Discord server. We'll try to keep this one under a minute.
So that means
I don't, not really. I kind of just get all my info by talking to the bards, and I'm figuring it out on my own.
I actually had a friend.
Oh, looks like somebody opened the
Had
flu.
Yeah,
Did you
your
open-
ladies of
You're
DeFi
echoing, bro.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry.
Influence
Yeah,
using
Yeah,
one
let
of
me
his
get
ears.
the link for that stream. I'll put it in chat.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. I can't message anything for some reason. My dumb chat's messed
Yeah, I got
up, so
you.
I feel like I'm ignoring everyone.
Oh
Everyone's like,
no, yeah, don't ignore your audience, man.
Here we
I'm
go.
not trying to. I can't message. It's like, what in the world? Flu, I can't message that to him. You got to do it, man.
Here,
Tosh, do it.
I got
Tosh,
it.
send it out, man. My
I'm gonna save the
thing's
day.
busted.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Boom. Boom. It's
Attaboy.
there.
Wait, it didn't work.
Wait, did it work?
Drake, ask the girls how they feel about slavery. Chicks love that. No, bro. Why are you doing that?
Bro.
Oh, man. All right. Well, anyways, so back to the question. Flu, you got any thoughts on that? Any other Discord groups?
Honestly, I would recommend the same ones that I recommend all the time. I love Freyala. Freyala is where my home is, where my home was on Harmony before then.
You
Also-
said DFK ones, bro.
Yeah, DFK.
Oh,
Real is cool though.
my bad. Sorry. So DFK specific? Like I don't know if any that are
Like I
open
think
that are-
Jewelcast has their own one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think Jewelcast has one, but I'm not really sure because like I'm in a bunch of them, but most of them are like guild related, so I don't know about open, and that's why
Yeah,
I'm kind
for
of like
sure.
I don't know.
I know. I'm not in a guild, so I don't really know any of them.
And everyone
we got a
invites me
little
into their
group in
guild
our
ones
Discord,
because-
but it's nothing like
Yeah.
a public one.
You can usually get some good discussion and like price discussion though on the normal Discord.
Yeah, that's true. You can always ask in there as well. All right, guys. Any piece of alpha you guys want to leave us with? Flu, Tosh?
I would
no.
say do what you did earlier, like what you were talking about earlier about how you think that there's going to be like a lot of different items that are used in building and building buildings and stuff like that. And I agree with that. I think that everyone here consider not just market selling all your stuff. Consider like actually saving some things for how early we are. No one knows what all of these tokens are going to be worth. No one knows what they are going to do in game. No one knows what you could possibly use them for in advance. So I don't know. You don't know. No one knows. If I were the dev side of that, though, I'd be making sure that every single piece of rewards was usable in some way. And that's all I'm saying.
I like it. I like it. Tosh, you got something?
Heck yeah. I mean, I think we're still super early to everything. I'm excited for the crystal airdrops to happen and such. And yeah, I don't know. LFG, guys. Thanks for coming.
Sweet, sweet. Hey, guys, I appreciate you jumping on this stream. I love chatting with you guys, all the alpha you guys share. My only piece of alpha I want to share is, again, same as last week, man. Invest in people, not Ponzi's. The Ponzi's will go, the people will stay. As always, guys, we close with a wisdom one line. We're in Proverbs chapter 20, verses 1. Wine is a mocker and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. Which one are you? Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Later.